Hey guys, so I'm actually pretty stuffed up today, so I'm going to sound probably a little bit different. But this is going to be a free agency recap for the NFL class. I will not be going through most offensive linemen because most of them won't make many, impacts on teams. Now, I will if I know for a fact that offensive line for that team was trash and they needed one. With that being said, let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. This is one of the examples. Marcus Gilbert was traded by the Steelers to the Arizona Cardinals for a 6th round pick. Which is okay. It's an offensive lineman. I think he's relatively old, so they're not giving up too much for him. Jordan Hicks, I don't know where he was before, but I know for a fact he was a pretty good player. He might have been in Chicago, but they signed him to a 4-year contract with $36 million. That includes $20 million guaranteed. To know if that was a good signing or not, I might have to look him up, so keep that in mind. They signed back up Brett Hundley. Good idea, because, Rosen got injured last year, so. The very versatile Terrell Suggs, 1-year deal. He's a D and outside linebacker, so he will have many uses, and they need to shore up their defense a little bit. J.R. Sweezy, same thing there. The line actually did need help. Kevin White, I don't even know who that is, to be honest, so I'm not going to know if he's going to have a big impact or not. Atlanta agreed to a 1-year contract on Kenjon Barner. I don't know if he's any good or not, but he's probably going to be the backup to whoever their starter is. And then the next two are offensive guards. I don't know how much Atlanta needed guards, so there's not many to go through. Grady Jarrett placed a franchise tag worth $15.2 million, so that was actually a good thing, because from what I know of, he was a very big, bright spot for this team and one of the few great things that happened this year. So that was a good signing by them. Baltimore signs Justin Bethel to a 2-year deal. He's actually a pretty good corner, from what I hear. He's decent. He's not great, but he's decent. Tight end Nick Boyle was re-signed, which is good. They're keeping their core of tight ends together. Mark Ingram, 3 years worth $15 million. Now, here's one that people are saying that Mark Ingram was overpaid. I, for one, believe that he might have been a little bit overpaid because he doesn't really get that many carries or anything. So, yeah, he may have gotten a little bit overpaid, but oh well. And Earl Thomas, 4 years, $55 million with $32 guaranteed. Now, that was actually a great signing by Baltimore because they let go of Eric Weddle not too long before making this deal. So they already had a replacement basically figured out for him. So there's that. Buffalo signed Cole Beasley to a 4-year deal worth $29 million that includes $14.4 guaranteed. If any of you watch Dallas, you know Cole Beasley was a big part of that offense, and he's very good on third down. So a good slot guy, good third down guy, very reliable target, good signing. They also signed John Brown. He's a pretty good speedster, intermediate route running kind of guy. 3 years worth $27 million. Good deal. Didn't really overpay for him. Frank Gore is now a Buffalo Bill. $2 million deal. All right, good backup for LaShawn McCoy, I guess. Kevin Johnson, corner, signed to a 1-year deal. All right, so that's actually one of the few corners I didn't know from this class. I have heard his name a few times, and from what I hear, I think he was on I forgot what team he was on, to be honest. Tyler Kroft, pretty good tight end from what I hear. And the Buffalo might have needed a better tight end, or at bare minimum a better backup tight end. So good deal there. $18.75 million with incentives of $21 million. So that's actually a pretty good deal. court or center, offensive tackle. D tackle Jordan Phillips haven't really heard the name, but they only signed him to a 1-year deal, so he's probably just a band-aid, to be honest. Andre Roberts, wide receiver, kick returner, 2-year deal. All right, cool. He's probably a decent kick returner, but I've never heard Andre Roberts being a wide receiver, so he might just be there for depth purposes because they already got 2 decent wide receivers, so I think they just got him for kick returning. Carolina literally only went after offensive linemen, so nothing to say there. Chicago signed Clinton Dix 1-year deal with $3.5 million. I believe they did get rid of a safety. I think it's what's his name? Amos? I don't know. But then they signed Clinton Dix, and Amos is actually with the Packers now. So technically, if Clinton Dix wasn't in the Browns uniform last year, this would basically be a straight-up trade between the two. Mike Davis, running back. I don't really think they needed a running back, but I think they did let one go in free agency, so that was probably a good thing. Cordero Patterson, this was a great signing. 2-year deal with $10 million, and half of that's guaranteed. That was a great signing for them. They need another wide receiver for Trubisky, and he can also shift in at running back if they need him to do some like trick play or something, you know? So, great job by them. Corner Buster Screen, I think he was with the Jets before. 3 million or 3-year, $16 million, including 8.5 guaranteed. Pretty good deal there. Sorry if I'm not staying completely on the screen, but I have to kind of like do this every once in a while to get a better look at everything. Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati actually did quite a bit, as you saw. Preston Brown, I heard he was a decent guy, worth $21 million, 3-year deal. Okay, cool. Tyler Crawford's re-signed. Great job by Cincinnati. He is one of the few people that are basically carrying the team. Tight end Uzombo was re-signed, which once again, both tight ends being very probably key to their, success. And then B.W. Webb, a corner. Looks like he was probably like on the practice squad for them or something. May have actually played a game. And signed a deal up to $13 million. Now, the Browns have made by far the biggest splash. Odell Beckham Jr. and Olivier Vernon traded by the Giants in exchange for safety Jarrell Peppers and Kevin Zeitler and 2 2019 picks, first round and third round. Pretty good idea there. Demetrius Harris, tight end, signed a 2-year deal. Cool. I think they needed a backup. Sheldon Richardson, they shored up their defense with that one. They gave someone in the middle between Ogba and Myles Garrett to help with pass rush. Good idea. They didn't really need any. They didn't really need a lot of offensive line help, but good depth player, I guess. Dallas signed Tavon Austin, re-signed. Doesn't give you any details, but from what I hear, he's not that good of a receiver, so he's probably just there to replace Beasley, maybe. Defensive end had a franchise tag placed on him. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, even in his old age. I'm going to say one of the best old pass rushers, because, J.J. Watt and them are around. And then Jason Witten came out of retirement, signed a 1-year deal that carries a base value of 3.5, but could be worth up to $5 million with incentives. Broncos signed Bryce Callahan to a 3-year deal with $21 million. Bryce Callahan was one of the catalysts, and I mean catalysts, to that defense. So I know he's a great corner. Denver really needed a lot of help on that side of the ball, and they got it. They got a Joe Flacco in a trade with the Ravens for a 4th-round pick, which is good because Flacco isn't elite, but he definitely plays better than Case Keenum does. So that they desperately needed that. And they got rid of a 4th round for him, which is okay. James Harriman re-signing on a 2-year deal with $9 million. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Kareem Jackson agreed to terms on a 3-year deal with $33 million. I think he's a pretty good DB, but I've barely heard his name. So he's probably good, just doesn't play for many teams that my teams play, you know? And then offensive tackle. Detroit Lions acquired Danny Amendola with a 1-year deal that includes $4.5 million guaranteed, with incentives that can bring the contract to $5.75. So basically, he has $1.25 that he can earn. Justin Coleman, cornerback, signed a 4-year deal with $36 million. He's probably a decent corner, otherwise nobody would sign him. Once again, just probably not on a team I hear very much about. Trey Flowers, 5-year deal with $16 million. Now, he actually, a lot of people said he was overpaid, but I think he was actually paid quite a bit where he was supposed to be. Now, for those who don't know Trey Flowers, he was a very big piece in the Patriots defense. So there's that. And then Jesse James, they did need a tight end, desperately, so that fixed that problem. Green Bay Packers get Adrian Amos to a 4-year deal with $37 million that pays $20 million guaranteed. The Packers defense needs a lot of help, so that the fact that I'm seeing mainly defense is good. Mercedes Lewis tight end was re-signed. I'm not sure how good of an idea that was because they already have Jimmy Graham, but hey. Preston Smith edge rusher, 4-year deal, $52 million with $27.5 guaranteed. Pretty good price for him. Once again, they needed 2 more edge rushers, and it looks like they got them both. Because right under that, Zadarius Smith, 4-year deal worth $66 million. See, the Packers and the offensive lineman doesn't matter, but the Packers spent 3 out of their 5 free agency moves on defense. Very good idea by them. They know Amos is good because they've played against them. They know the 2 edge rushers are pretty damn good too. Houston signed Brian Bobby Calhoun, which I believe is to take the place of someone that probably they lost to free agency. Team placed franchise tag on Davion Clowney. Great idea because he still pairs well with Watt. To chase Sean Gibson, safety. They probably need safety help. And then corner Bradley Roby. So with Houston, they actually shored up mainly the secondary, which is a good idea because I think their secondary was their biggest problem this past season. Indianapolis Colts re-signed corner Pierre Dicer, which I'm pretty sure he made some plays for them. Devin Funchess signed to a 1-year deal with $13 million. I think they might have just needed a slot receiver. So that might have been a good trade. Defensive line Margus Hunt re-signed, so they just kept him on the team. Jaguars re-signed AJ Kane, pretty good. Chris Conley was signed to a new contract terms unreported to the team. Okay, so they re-signed him, we just don't know for what. And I think they had Jacksonville need another wide receiver, so good job. They signed Nick Foles, 4-year deal with $88 million. That was a very good plan by them. Because no matter who you would have gotten to replace Blake Bortles, it would have been an upgrade, you know? So good job by Jacksonville, and you got a Super Bowl quarterback. So, and then the last thing was offensive tackle. Kansas City signs Carlos Hyde because obviously they don't have Kareem Hunt, and I think they actually lost another running back in free agency. Good job. Tyrann Mathieu, safety, great idea because he's a good in-box linebacker, or a very in-box safety. So very good job by them. D.E. Alex Oxenford, he's expected to sign a $24 million deal, but it's not guaranteed yet. So there's that. Damian Wilson, linebacker. Once again, they needed help in the front seven mainly, and a little bit in secondary, so they covered both problems. My team picked up Thomas Davis, linebacker, 10.5 mil. That includes 5.275 guaranteed. Great job. They re-signed Brandon Mebane. Good job. So they kept the D tackle. They got another linebacker that they needed, and they kept Denzel Perriman too. So their linebacking core is basically solid. They re-signed Phillips, our safety, which is good. He's a good tandem with Derwin James. They signed back up Tyrod Taylor. That's a good plan because Geno Smith is trash, basically. Los Angeles Rams re-signed Dante Fowler and signed Eric Weddle. Dante Fowler, obviously good, and Eric Weddle, even though he's aging, can still play, and I think they needed to replace Joyner, so good job by them. Miami signs Dwayne Allen to a 2-year deal worth $7 million. Good job by them, I guess. Eric Rowe signing 1-year contract worth $3.5. So they basically took a Patriots player and kept him in the division. Good job. Minnesota Vikings, Anthony Barr, linebacker, after initially deciding to join the Jets on Monday, changed his mind Tuesday and has agreed to a 5-year deal with $67.5 million. That could be $77.5 and $33 million guaranteed. Good job. Shamar Stevens agreed to terms on a 3-year deal with $12.45. That includes $5 million in the first year. Pretty good there. Very, very good choice there. So even though Vikings aren't making, tons of moves, they made good enough moves to bolster their team a little bit. New England actually did a lot more moves than what we know. So they traded to the Eagles for Michael Bennett, a 7th-round pick, in exchange for a 5th-round pick. So Eagles get a 5th round, get rid of a 7th round, and they got rid of someone who I don't think was really contributing anyways. Terrence Brooks signed to a 2-year deal, never heard that name. Philip Dorsett was re-signed. Okay, cool. So they kept one of their wide receivers. Bruce Ellington, wide receiver, signed to a 1-year deal, just depth. Jason McCourty was re-signed, and John Simon was re-signed. So they re-signed 3 players, they signed 2, and they traded 1. So pretty cool, I guess. New Orleans heads Teddy Bridgewater. After visiting with Miami, Bridgewater ultimately decided to sign a 1-year deal with the Saints worth up to $12.5 million. That includes $7.25 guaranteed. Cool. Malcolm Brown, D tackle, agreed to terms. I'm pretty sure he was a pretty good player. D. Mario Edwards signed a contract. Pretty good, from what I hear. Will Lutz re-signed. Great job keeping your very good kicker there. And then they agreed to terms with Latavius Murray to replace Mark Ingram. New York Giants, Anthony Bethel was signed to replace Landon Collins. Marcus Golden was re-signed to replace probably one of their defensive linemen that they had to get rid of. We already covered who they got from the Giants. And Golden Tate was signed. Great idea by them because the Giants need a lot of help still. Or no. Yeah, the Giants need a lot of help still. So good job by them. Jets made a lot of moves. Okay, so Henry Anderson was re-signed to a 3-year deal. Good idea. Le'Veon Bell was signed, obviously one of the best running backs in the league, so good deal. Josh Bellamy was signed. Depth. A kicker was signed probably because of the other kicker not doing as well. Jamison Crowder was signed to a $28.5 million deal. Once again, I don't know if he's going to be like a depth or if he's going to be like their second string guy maybe. C.J. Mosley signed a 5-year deal with $85 million. That was a big signing. They really needed some defensive help. I think they had a lot of problems in the linebacking core, so this solidifies their offense for that. And then Kalichi Osemele traded. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's Oakland. Antonio Brown was traded to the Steelers in exchange for 2 2 picks, a 3rd, and a 5th. So, good job by them. And then they agreed to a 3-year deal worth $50 million, or $50.25 million, with $31.25 billion guaranteed and a maximum value of $54.125. Trent Brown was signed, which they needed some offensive line help, but that was an overpay in my opinion. Jonathan Hankins re-signed to a 2-year deal, so they kept the player in-house. That's good. Joyner from the Rams signed here for a 4-year, $42 million deal, $16.7 guaranteed. Great job by them. Pick up a safety because, once again, they need all the help they could get. And then they signed J.J. Nelson and Tyrell Williams to give Derek Carr some reliable targets. Eagles agreed to a 1-year contract worth $8.5 for Ronald Darby. Good job. They needed a good corner. Brandon Graham re-signed. Obviously great to keep a guy in-house. They actually got Deshaun Jackson back too. And all it costed them was a 7th and a 6th. Good job because, in my opinion, Jackson should have never left to begin with. So that's good. Malik Jackson was signed in a 3-year deal with $30 million. They needed some defensive help once again, so they got it. Pittsburgh agreed to a 2-year deal with Dan. Never heard of him. Dante Moncrief was signed. He's a decent receiver, I guess. Steven Nelson was signed. He's a pretty damn good corner. And then Eli Rogers was re-signed. Okay, so not much happened there. 49ers signed Quan Alexander to a 4-year deal with $54 million. Quan Alexander is a very good linebacker, so good idea. Tevin Coleman, running back, was signed a 2-year, $8.5 million with a maximum value of $10.6 million for Tevin Coleman. And Tevin Coleman is a very good running back. We know that. They traded the Chiefs for D Ford. Once again, they needed some help on defense, so there's that. Wide receiver Jordan Matthews was signed, and Robbie Gould was placed with a franchise tag. Both are very good players. Jordan Matthews is an okay player. Raheem Mostert? Okay, I don't know. Okay, I clicked on something. My bad. Offensive guard, corner, Jason Verrett. He was actually on the Chargers, so I know he's pretty good when he's healthy, so good job by them. And then defensive back was re-signed. Cool. Seattle, Frank Clark had a franchise tag placed on them. Linebacker, okay, cool. They signing Jason Myers, and then KJ Wright was re-signed. So they kept players in-house, and they didn't really do any big moves, but they did get, 2 offensive linemen, which they needed. Tampa Bay, Shaquan Barrett is pretty good, so that's good. Dion Buchanan, once again, good linebacker. Very versatile, too. Ryan Griffin, have no idea who he is. Rashad Perriman agreed to terms. Okay, cool. And then they got another offensive lineman. Once again, there aren't many here that I have too many big opinions on. Adam Humphrey with Tennessee, 4-year worth $36 million. That was actually a very good deal, and actually slightly underpaying Adam Humphrey because they get what they need in a slot receiver, offensive tackle, offensive guard. Ryan Tannehill was actually traded to them by the Dolphins, which that was one of the most surprising moves I've seen. Kenny Vaccaro, very good safety when he was with the Saints. He was picked up on a 4-year worth $26 million. Once again, good job. And they picked up Cameron Wake. So Tennessee made some big moves. Washington is the final team. Landon Collins was signed to a 6-year deal. Great job by them. Case Keenum was traded to them by the Broncos to give some, competition to Colt McCoy probably. Adrian Peterson was re-signed, which was a good idea because, they really needed to keep him in-house. And Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie came out of retirement and signed with the Washington Redskins. DRC, from what I hear, was pretty good when he was playing, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't too long ago, so there you go. So that was a free agency recap. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and also give me ideas on what you want to see next. After this video, probably same day this is posted, maybe tomorrow this one will be posted. But I'll finally be doing the week in review for WWE. I'm sorry that this and that is going to come out later, but I wasn't planning on that happening. It was just not posting. But I'm going to try to keep videos coming out, whether it's this or gaming, as much as I can for you guys. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.